Okay, structure of DNA. DNA structure is proposed by Watson and Crick. The model of DNA structure which is proposed by Watson and Crick is called as double helical structure. Double helical structure. That means two strands of DNA are running parallel to each other and they are taking turns. Okay, this two strands of DNA are twisted around one another. This is the first strand of DNA. Around this, parallelly, another strand of DNA will run and it is twisted. So here there is no connection. Actually, there is a gap between first strand and second strand. It is twisted like that. Okay, that's why. So we are drawing here close. So this double-stranded DNA, each strand of DNA is composed of smaller units called nucleotides. Nucleotides are the smaller units. See, each strand is made up of, suppose this is one nucleotide, this is one nucleotide, this is one nucleotide, like this. All nucleotides are joined together to form one strand. Okay. What is this nucleotide made up of? Nucleotides are made up of three components. What are the three components that are present in nucleotides? First one nitrogen base. One nitrogen base is present. And second one sugar, which is pentose. Pentose sugar is present. Second one. Third one is a phosphate molecule. These three will combine together to form each nucleotide. Okay, the chain of nucleotides forms each strand of DNA. Are all the nitrogen bases same? No, nitrogen bases are different. All the nitrogen bases that form the DNA molecule are divided into two groups. Two groups. What are those two groups? First one, pyrimidines. Second one, purines. What is the difference between purine and pyrimidine is pyrimidine structure is made up of only a 6-carbon ring. Okay, you might have studied about ring structures in carbon compounds. So this ring structure is just having, see how many parts, how many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In case of a purine, one 6-carbon ring is present. Along with that, another 5-carbon ring is attached. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this type of structures are present. All those nitrogen bases which are having this type of structures are called as purines. Nitrogen bases which are having this type of structures are called as pyrimidines. How many pyrimidines are there? So in the nucleic acid molecules, there are three types of pyrimidine molecules. What are they? Pyrimidines are first one, cytosine, second one, thymine, third one, uracil. Next, purines are two types. One is adenine, second one is guanine. Okay. So, among these all, you can find cytosine, thymine, adenine, guanine in DNA molecule. In a RNA molecule, thymine is not present. In place of thymine, uracil is present. So, in DNA molecules, you can find thymine, cytosine, adenine, guanine. In case of RNA molecule, cytosine, uracil, adenine, guanine. So when we study about the structure of RNA, I'll say you the types of RNA at that time. So here presently it's important to understand that thymine is absent in thymine is absent in RNA, uracil is absent in DNA. Okay, so these nitrogen bases, only one of these nitrogen bases is present for one nucleotide molecule. Among these nitrogen bases, one more thing that you need to understand is if one strand has cytosine, the second strand has opposite to that guanine. They are connected by double bonds. Double bonds. That means you're drawing two strands like this. If this nucleotide has cytosine here, this nucleotide will definitely have guanine. Why? Because bond cannot be formed between any other compounds. Only a cytosine and guanine can form the double bond. Always one purine and one pyrimidine is present. If suppose here adenine is present, definitely here thymine is present. Sorry, here triple bond. Okay, small correction, children. Here it is triple bond, here it is double bond. Cytosine and guanine are connected by triple bond. Adenine and thymine are connected by double bonds. Okay, if here thymine is present, definitely here adenine should be present. If here guanine is present, definitely here cytosine will be present. Okay, so these are complementary nucleotides opposite to each other. Okay, always cytosine is complementary to guanine and adenine is complementary to thymine. Always these two will be present opposite to each other, these two will be opposite to each other. Right? Now, on each strand, you can see that these are anti-parallel to each other. What do you mean by anti-parallel to each other? Suppose let us take the first strand of DNA is like this, and this is made up of one nitrogen base, one sugar molecule, one phosphate. This forms one nucleotide. Again, one nitrogen base, one phosphate, sugar molecule. So this is one nitrogen base. This is one nitrogen base. Nitrogen base, pentose sugar. So I wrote wrong. Sugar molecule, phosphate. Sugar molecule, phosphate. Nitrogen base, sugar molecule, phosphate. If it is running like this. The second strand, which is running anti-parallel to this one, will start from here. Nitrogen base, sugar molecule, phosphate. Nitrogen base, sugar molecule, phosphate. Nitrogen base, sugar molecule, phosphate. So if this strand started from this direction, this strand started from this direction. That is why these two strands are said to be anti-parallel to each other. Anti-parallel to each other. Okay, each strand is anti-parallel to other strand. So one complete turn of DNA molecule is called as gyre. It is 34 angstroms. 34 angstroms means very small unit, 10 to power minus 10. It is 10 to power minus 10 mm or cm. It is very smallest unit of measurement. Okay, it is less than nanometer. Okay, so this is 20 angstrom. Diameter of this DNA molecule is 20 angstroms. It runs anti-parallel to each other. And see, when a DNA helix is formed, this side groove is large and this side groove is small. This is called as major groove and this is called as minor groove. Now, its RNA molecule is of three types. RNA molecules are three types. Three types of RNA molecules are there. First one is mRNA, nothing but messenger RNA. Second one is tRNA, which is nothing but transfer RNA. Third one is small t, sorry, rRNA, nothing but ribosomal RNA. What is the function of RNA? It helps in production of proteins. So DNA molecule produces RNA molecule, then only RNA molecule can produce proteins. So it helps in production of protein. DNA molecule cannot produce directly proteins. So for this protein production, RNA is very important. What are the three types of RNA? When DNA is converted into proteins through RNA, these three types of RNA are helping. How they are helping? mRNA converts the message that is present. It takes the message that is present inside this DNA. So it is called as messenger RNA. It takes message from DNA. Next, when this message is read by mRNA, that particular amino acid from the protein pool should be transferred for the construction of these proteins. When RNA is producing proteins, this RNA should bring the proteins. Proteins are made up of amino acids. So the relevant amino acid, where it will be present? It will be present in the cytoplasm. Where the production of this protein occurs? Inside this nucleus, inside the nucleus. So we can't see this diagram. I'll draw here. Protein synthesis where it is occurring inside this nucleus. Where the amino acids that are required are present, they are present in cytoplasm. So from here, the appropriate amino acid should be carried into the nucleus. That is done by this transfer RNA. What the transfer RNA does is, it transfers the relevant amino acid. It transfers relevant amino acids for protein synthesis. Now, this transfer RNA and mRNA should bind to each other. This transfer RNA is a molecule like this. It will bind to the amino acid and bring that amino acid. Already near the DNA, the mRNA is binding like this to accept this. So there should be a binding between this and this. Messenger RNA and tRNA should bind. For binding, ribosomal RNA will help. This ribosomal RNA, we saw that RNA is made up of two subunits. Ribosomes are made up of two subunits. Ribosomes are ribosomal RNA, same thing. So this ribosomal RNA helps in binding this mRNA and tRNA. Then only protein synthesis can occur. So ribosomal RNA helps mRNA to bind with tRNA. So near the DNA molecule, let us take this is a strand of DNA molecule. First, messenger RNA will start accumulating here to study the structure of DNA. And when DNA structure is studied, immediately which amino acid should bind with this will be understood, and transfer RNA will go to the cytoplasm pool and it will collect that amino acid and bring here. When it is bringing here, rRNA is ready to help binding these two and forming the protein. So here that amino acid will come. When these two will bind, amino acid will come. So that is how the protein synthesis occurs. We'll study about the protein synthesis in detail in your higher classes. You simply understand this concept here. mRNA helps in taking the message from DNA. tRNA transfers the amino acid from cytoplasm and brings it into the nucleus, and rRNA helps in binding mRNA and tRNA. As a result, each amino acid will accumulate and form the proteins. So this is how the protein synthesis occurs. Okay, right.